Hi there, I'm the Nature Guy, and today I'm coming to you from beautiful New Hampshire. We're in the very northeastern corner of New Hampshire, right out on the Atlantic Ocean. It's a very rocky shoreline here, and I want you to take a look at that and compare that in a minute to down in Massachusetts, where it's really sandy. And so it changes quite a bit in the geography. But we're here to look at some birds because it turns out there are some birds that nest up in the tundra and Newfoundland along the rocky coasts that come down here to New Hampshire, Massachusetts, even down to New York. Offshore, they stay all winter and find food and wait for things to warm up before they head back. So we're here at the end of March, just trying to catch these birds. It's not storming, but they haven't quite left and headed north. So let's grab our binoculars and cameras, and we're going to head down onto the coast a bit, closer to the water, see what we can see. One thing about a rocky coast is the wave action that it helps create. So ducks that live here have to really like the waves. We found plenty of black scoters here. The males are shiny black with a bright orange bill, and the females are dark brown with a pale throat patch. You can see it better here in this still. Scoters are often seen in groups where they dive into the bottom to collect crustaceans and mollusks. That's their favorite food. The black scoters don't seem to mind it much, the waves and the activity of the water. In fact, it kind of looks like they are purposely having fun on the waves. It's a lot of fun to watch them. Here come some waves. Bring it on. That looks like fun. I wish I could swim like a duck. Another duck that does not mind the waves is the harlequin duck. The males are bluish gray with rusty colored sides and have a lot of distinct white markings on them. When you see them up close, they are spectacular, and it's probably one of my favorite ducks. They feed on the bottom like the scoters by taking long dives. Bottoms up, everyone. There they go. The third duck that's very common along these rocky coasts is the long-tailed duck. It's kind of obvious why they're given that name. In the winter, they have a lot of white on them, their head and necks and backs. That white gets replaced by black, mostly in the breeding season. There must be something beneficial to feeding in groups, because most of the sea ducks out here seem to do that. So we've come a lot further south. We're down at the very south end of Massachusetts on Cape Cod, and you can see here that the scenery is quite different. It's not a rocky shoreline. This is a sandy shoreline, sandy beaches. We've got sand dunes behind us. We get down the beach, you'll see that we have a lot of waves coming in because it's windy today. But you'll see that there's a lot of shells from mollusks that have washed up and some seaweed, but lots and lots of sand. So different habitat, different kinds of birds. Let's go take a look. We saw over 11,000 of these common eider in the shallow waters along the sandy beaches and sandbars. The males are spectacularly colored. This large duck is known for their down feathers, which are often used for insulation in winter clothing. The females are a beautiful chocolate color brown, and we enjoyed watching them all. We also saw a number of brant. This is a type of goose. These are smaller than Canada geese and have a very decorative white marking on the back of their necks. Of course, the sandy beaches are also home to a lot of other birds, not just ducks and geese, like the sanderlings we just saw, these American oystercatcher, and piping plover. We will highlight these birds in other episodes in the future. So what's the lesson we can learn from being out here watching these seabirds in the different environments on the east coast of the US? Well, where you live is important. And I think that that has something to do with our Christian lives too. Where do we put our time? Where do we spend our time? Is it a good environment? Are we making good choices? I think that's something we need to always be remembering as we go about our day. Well, that's it for this week. We'll see you next time. Bye from Massachusetts.